there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mfon and I'm an adult, a mom of 4, recovering from childhood trauma. So I am trying to share my story to see if it's relatable and if it resonates with you. I will also know that I am not the only person and that you are not alone. So let me know your thoughts below if this video resonates with you, and let's find a pathway to healing together. So today I'm going to talk about a narcissist, a narcissistic parent. What is a narcissistic parent? A narcissistic parent is a self-centered and self-absorbed parent who has an inflated self-image and thinks that they are better than others. They often disregard other people's needs and concerns, including their children's, because they believe their needs and feelings are the most important. In severe cases, they suffer from narcissistic personality disorder, otherwise known as NPD. So if you hear me say NPD, it means narcissistic personality disorder. So I also want to share my story as I talk about this trait. This video is going to be broken into part 1 and part 2 to help me share my story as I tell you this trait. So I want you to look into yourself and see if you can relate to some of these things, and which it is common to all narcissistic people. So narcissists tend to have the following types of behaviors. Number 1, grandiosity. Grandiosity is the core characteristic of narcissism. A narcissistic parent has an inflated sense of their own importance and fantasized about unlimited power, superiority, uniqueness, and perfection. They believe that their opinions and ideas are better than anyone else and the only one that matters. So a narcissist has this number 1 characteristic, grandiosity. They have this inflated sense of self. For example, like I said, I'm going to share my story, how I was raised by a narcissistic parent. My mother, she was the all-knowing. She was always angry if you challenge her. And, it's common in our culture that parents are always, puffing up. They are always the all-knowing. Sometimes narcissistic parents don't know that kids are going to grow up. So they believe in this unlimited power, superiority, and uniqueness. Number 2, entitlement. It is common for narcissistic parents to be overly preoccupied with their own emotional needs, believing that they should always come first and expecting others to meet their needs instantly without question. I know what that means. A narcissistic parent believes that their needs are important, and like growing up with my mom, I used to do a lot of work for her, and she felt that it was my duty. So she was entitled for me to meet her need than for her to meet mine. They're expecting others to meet their needs instantly without question. Everyone else is just there to satisfy their needs and be under their control. They expect preferential treatment and believe their needs should be, prioritized over those of their children. Like I said, I used to, help out in the house, but I was basically taking my mommy's responsibilities, and she did not consider my own need. All she cared about was me taking care of her duties and me being deprived of my own duty as a child. Furthermore, they are controlling parents who see themselves as entitled to manipulate their kids or take unfair advantage of them in order to get what they want. To control their children, they often use shaming, guilt tripping, and yelling. That is very common in my culture. Oh, look at your big head. They say things that hurt the child's feeling so that they can control that child. Yelling and all of that, and spanking as well. So I'm going to talk about, African parents in my upcoming video. So if you're an African watching this, I hope you come back for that, because sometimes I don't understand if narcissism is African culture. Number 3, lack of empathy. Narcissistic are cold, critical, demanding, and unresponsive to the needs of others. They are indifferent to the negative impact of their narcissistic behavior and demeaning remarks on others, but expect others to empathize with them. Lack of empathy is what I've been saying all this while, that I used to do a lot of work and there was no empathy when it comes to my own needs. For example, there was a time I had exams, and because I do groceries, I go to the market to buy food stuff. The day of my exams, I still did the same thing. My exams was 3 to 6 p.m. and I had to go to the market, come back, drop everything, and run down to the exam hall, and I was late. I mean, the lack of empathy and insensitivity that I experienced with my mom was through the roof. Through the roof. I don't know if lack of empathy is even a word to describe how insensitive my needs were treated. Number 4, arrogant. They think that they are superior to others and they talk down on them. They make sure others know that and refer to their superiority frequently. Narcissists believe they are never wrong and blame others all the time for their mistakes. This is very common in my culture, where a parent can be wrong, then pretend as if he doesn't know that she is wrong, uses arrogance, uses rage to cover up, and never apologizes for his mistakes. Instead, he or she will blame another person. Number 5, contemptuous. Contemptuous is from the word contempt, and I'm going to read what that means. According to Google, contempt is the feeling that a person or a thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. Often, people who feel superior think others are less deserving. They make frequent condescending remarks about others and criticize their choices or actions. This includes their own children. So, narcissistic parents constantly put down their children, and nothing they do is good enough for them. In my own case, my mom used to say mean things to me. My mom I don't know why she used to say that, but she used to hurt my feelings a lot. So narcissistic parents constantly put down their children, and nothing they do is good enough for them. The love that I got from my mother was, conditional love. For what I can do. The day I don't do it, I get blamed for it. I get, criticized for not doing it. So I was loved for what I could do for her. Nothing I did was ever good enough. So I don't know if this resonates with you. Let me know your thoughts below. Did you have such, unhealthy parenting, narcissistic parents growing up? Let me know your thoughts below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Remember, this is the part 1. Please come back for the part 2, because I want this to be in, small, size, so that you can enjoy it and come back for the remaining in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.